as you stare into the face of the Arbiter, now recognizing, looking a little different than the last time you had seen him. For you, Flinry, it's been some time since you've seen the Arbiter, but for the rest of you, looking fairly different still, as you were just killed by him not too long ago. You look on his face, though, and he's still kind of got this wry smile that's kind of wrenching up his cheeks as he's, yes, I can make good use of you. As he starts to look around the library and get his surroundings and get his bearings. He's really not gonna say much else there in that moment. He's just kind of start thinking to himself, scheming.
You.
Sorry, have we met?
Have we met? This is a trick. This is an illusion of this place.
This guy?
Do I?
Do you?
Well, of course I do.
I recognize him and, well, just him. And, well, and her, obviously, but as he points to Eliana, but you are...
And then realizing that Flippy looks a bit different from the last time that they would have interacted, he's going to decide to use that. So, well, maybe I'm mistaken.
Yes, well, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you're here, and now we can get to work. What is this place?
Looks like a library to me.
No library I've ever seen. He's actually gonna look to Toddleheim, recognizing Toddleheim. He's gonna just look at you for a second and look over at Eliana and, you know what? I'm gonna roll for it.
Finally, the Arbiter's gonna roll for something. You know,
it's just kind of oblivious to the fact that he already murdered you guys once.
Of course. Of course. Because why not?
Flinry's of no help to him, so he's... where exactly are we? Can you give me a location?
We're off somewhere.
Everybody's somewhere. Be more specific. Aren't you a scholar?
How much
That
do
should
you
tell you everything you need to know.
How much do you remember from before you got here?
Remember...
What's the last thing you remember?
Remember being in chains and serving the Grand Master. I remember killing you, and then I went to lunch, and then moved on, and then his eyes start to get wider. You have to tell me where we are right now. I have to get back to the Grand Master.
Well,
hold up. Before we get any further, can somebody tell me what's going on? You know this person. They know you. What? And you don't know how you got here either. What's going on?
well, he's the one that killed us.
Killed you essentially to bring you here.
Yes.
And it looks like you're dead now too, I guess. Welcome.
he's also a murderer, a thief, a liar, and the source of evil in my life.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
All right. Well.
So funny. He's just like insulting this guy, and he's just like, what the, like, who the fuck?
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that there's some sort of strife here, but perhaps we can, if we're all kind of figuring this shit out, maybe we can work together. Why are you so like cryptic and like just getting all dramatic about this, Flinry?
Because this man is the reason that I'm in this mess in the first place. This has killed my friends, has betrayed everything that I've known, has been the source of my pain, my anguish, my loss. And he just stands defeated, thinking of his time when he arrived here.
So do we kill him then? Should we just end it now?
I certainly would like to.
Flinry. Ah. I see. You've, like, cocks his head. Done something with your hair? Are you still upset about the meteor, or? Not sure.
No.
I didn't kill you.
I'm long past the meteor.
I know I killed them. I didn't kill you. See why you're so sour with me? As he's... None of this even matters. As he looks around and he just, once again, just... I have to get back to the Grand Master.
I'm sure she's happy to be rid of you.
You don't understand. I'm dead.
The best news I've heard in years.
Let me explain this for you, since you're not catching on. I was murdered in the Dread Fortress by somebody now who is presumably holding the Grand Master hostage, or worse.
And why do you care?
Why do I care? I've known Lucia longer than any of you. 1,000 years.
And you tried to overthrow her, have her killed.
See, there's
in a tournament that came down to the last fight. One death determined whether or not you stand here before us supposedly remorseful, or whether you would remain reigning over a stolen kingdom, spitting on her corpse.
Well, it seems that I should explain the situation further. As much that you don't know. I suppose I can't blame you. How could you know? As he looks around. Gather around. Let me tell you a story, children. As he's being demeaning.
Please.
Many years ago, I rescued the Grand Master. She had been exiled after the death of her father. I brought her home to challenge her uncle, a man known as the Shadow King. He's a very powerful mage, bent on bolstering his own power, becoming a god. He was siphoning the life force from the void. And so I took it upon myself to bring Lucia back. And together, we overthrew the Shadow King. And she was able to kill him. Unfortunately, I made a small miscalculation after that point. You see, he looks around the room. Knowledge is the most significant source of power in all of the universes. And a knowledge contained within the soul of the Shadow King would be a waste. So, in my misjudgment, I thought we could harness that knowledge for the betterment of the void. And so, I created the Box of Chaos to contain the soul of the Shadow King. Little did I know, though, that Snake was playing me the entire time, slowly regaining his form. I don't know how he managed to accomplish it. I was able to siphon his power for a time, use it for the good, but it seems that his intentions clouded my mind for a time.
Sounds like a dose of your own medicine to me.
Well, if you want my honest opinion, it was him that killed you, not me. I wasn't even in control of my faculties, for the most part.
A likely story.
Believe what you want, but whether you
I
believe
assume
me,
it was your lack of faculties that obliterated Orin.
well, I don't honestly. Let me level with you. I don't really know. There's so much of my mind that was clouded at that time. The power I was siphoning from the Box of Chaos was intoxicating in some ways, and in other ways, it whispered to me. I can tell you that what I thought I was doing was truly in service of the void, from my perspective. And whether that's the truth or not, I don't know. Doesn't matter at this point. We're all dead, and you can believe that, you can not believe that. I don't really care. What I do care about is saving the Grand Master. And so, are you going to tell me where I'm at or not?
Why not entrust us to save the Grandmaster? Tell us what you know. We'll take that knowledge, save the Grandmaster, and return you to the sand here and now.
Well, if I believed you were capable, maybe I would. If these folks here couldn't even defeat me, then how do you expect to defeat the Shadow King? His power has grown exponentially. He siphoned off my own life force, along with the power I stole from him and amplified. The knowledge I increased over the years, now his, at his command. He is a god. Not even I am most likely going to be able to stop him. Not in my current state, anyway.
Let me look at Eliana. You spent the most time with this man prior to now, most recently. Is there any truth in anything he says?
Would I be able to roll an insight check?
Yeah, roll an insight.
Okay. That's just a d20, right?
Yeah. Well, you roll an insight. You can add your modifier to it. For insight, you have a +8.
Ooh.
Dang.
Yeah, roll it.
Juice.
Wait, let me...
She's a smart one. That's why we got her in here. This is good.
Okay,
Okay.
24. What are you, as you're trying to get this insight, what are you trying to gather or like ascertain?
Like if his story is actually true, like if he's being upfront with us.
Sure. Roll me a history check as well.
Do I have a modifier for history?
+6. Okay, 13. So you don't know everything, but certainly being around the Dread Fortress and being close to the Grand Master, you would know some of the history between the two of them, and you would know that the story he has shared about helping the Grandmaster overthrow her uncle and saving the Void, and all of that. You would know that is factually true, that he did do that. That it was at that time that the Grandmaster named him the Arbiter, and this was hundreds of years ago, 700 years for those of you keeping track. But you would know that part is true, that they, despite the recent conflict, that the Arbiter has served the Grandmaster for 700 years. And to your knowledge, that it would make a certain amount of sense. Obviously, you've had your own experience with this figure and has seen some of his doings and betrayals, and obviously him being held captive by the Grandmaster. But you also would know, with your closeness to her, that despite the fact that he tried to overthrow the Grandmaster, she is someone who would welcome the challenge. Somebody who values kind of deciding things in honorable combat and things like that. So she would. There's a reason she kept him around and didn't try to execute him afterwards. You would kind of know all of that in a general sense.
Okay, I'll relay that like the first part of him working with the Grandmaster is true, but after that, I don't know. But she does have her reasons. I still don't trust him, and he's always been a pain in the ass. So.
Yes.
What if I said I was sorry? Would that help any here?
No, not really.
Oh, good, because I wasn't probably going to. I'm just throwing it out there.
Uh-huh.
Well, you said she's in trouble. What did you do?
I'm a little fuzzy on all of the details. As I said, the Shadow King's power that I was using for all of this time his influence seeped into my mind. I'm not sure what exactly was him and where my own thoughts kind of began and ended in this time. I remember now, as he's kind of starting to recall the events of his own. I remember now I died in the throne room. He somehow has been able to rebuild a body, I think using the sacrifices to the Box of Chaos. An arm here, a leg there. Cryptocurrency. Somehow has been able to build himself a new body, and he is very powerful now.
How tall is the Arbiter?
Oh, like 8 feet-ish.
8-ish?
8-ish. Yeah, he's real tall. Him and the Grandmaster are both pretty large in stature.
Eliana wants to tackle him.
You can certainly try.
Oh, no.
Roll a strength against his athletics.
Oh.
What the hell?
Oh, my strength is not great.
It's all right.
I think Flannery's going to see that she's kind of getting into like a tactical position. He's just going to take a brief sidestep to open up the lane here, just to kind of just...
It's a 12.
12. Okay, let me... 9. You get down to break into this sprint, and you successfully tackle the Arbiter.
Great. So I'm on his I tackle him, and I'm sitting on his chest, and I'm just bashing his head with my book.
Roll an unarmed attack.
Oh my god.
What would
Flannery's
that
got
be?
his arms crossed.
He's just laughing. Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Wait,
I'm just
where
like
is
leaning
that?
past
I'm so
the bookshelf,
sorry.
just watching like.
There's like
Under
Oh
your
my
inventory,
God.
you should be able to find unarmed strike.
Oh, inventory. There it is.
Yeah,
Okay. And you said unarmed?
Mm-hmm.
I only have the staffs.
Okay, here I can give you an unarmed strike. Here, give me just a second.
I wasn't built for that, so
You're totally fine. You should have it now on your sheet.
yay. Okay.
Yeah, you might just have to click the attack button in the chat log.
That's fine. It's an 8.
Oh.
As you tackle the Arbiter and you go to bash his head in with a book, his eyes, these kind of milky void white swirls, flare for just a moment. And as you bash, it's almost like you all blink your eyes, and Eliana, you are standing back where you were before you tackled him, and he's standing back upright as he obviously somehow has shifted time.
Oh my god, not here too. Eliana will like stomp her foot just angrily.
As he kind of brushes himself off a bit. Just, well, maybe we could just talk first. If you want to fight, then we could do it after. Be more than happy to kill you again.
Yeah, so look, he shared a story. I think I don't really know the history, obviously, but I still think we should try to like find some way to figure this shit out together. If clearly looking for this Grandmaster or whatever, if that's a common interest among all of you, just trying to find some common ground here.
Maybe we've gotten off on the wrong foot. I killed you. You have said some terrible things about me. It's okay. I let it go. As he looks around, let me just settle things. My name, let's begin here, is Vythorn.
Or drop. Takes notes.
Writing that down. And how do you spell that?
Yes, how do you spell that?
Vythorn.
Thank you.
Maybe we can start fresh in this place. We, as your friend has put it, we have a common interest. I want to see the Grandmaster brought to safety, and I would like to see the Shadow King dead. And I would like my power back. So, if you all would be inclined to get back to the land of the living and save the Grandmaster, I know you would probably would, as he looks at Eliana.
She flips him off.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, somebody that.
Yes, you are Lucia's type. As he,
What's that name?
Lucia, the Grandmaster.
Lucia.
She's just getting like all the juice. She's like, oh.
Vythorn and Alicia.
That sounds pretty sick.
Does, yeah. I'd watch that buddy cop show.
So maybe we can start fresh, and you can maybe tacitly trust me for the moment.
Maybe. Under one condition.
Name it.
Unstraps his sword and walks over slowly towards the Arbiter. Sets it, point down right in front of him. Stare into this and tell me what you see. Lie, and I'll know.
Okay. You want the Arbiter to look and see what he sees?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's find out.
Oh,
would be juicy.
good idea. I like this.
22. As he looks into this directly, if he's looking into it, I don't understand. I see myself.
How? How do you look?
Not bad, honestly. Little
He's ogling himself.
little gray around the beard. Would probably use a haircut. He's seeing the image of himself as you would
Okay.
remember him.
Ah.
with his full power.
Okay.
Look a little.
All right.
Little tired,
Fenrir's
but-
gonna say that he's gonna sling back the sword and go over to Toddleheim. Nothing's changed. It's the same as it's always been. What do you want to do?
Well, we're in a bit of a pickle here. We still need to get home, so we don't have many options. Plus, with the skill he's just shown, he could probably kill us all again anyway.
Let's watch each other's backs.
Agreed.
Turns back to Eliana. And you? Are you willing to take this risk?
Yes. I want all of what he wants, except for the last part. Him getting power.
Agreed. And you, warrior.
Saris.
Right.
Yes.
You have to swear here and now that no matter what he says or does throughout this quest, that you are with us, and that he is ultimately never to be trusted and should always be considered our enemy, although we may have a common goal.
Swear. You know I'm a paladin, right? Like, that's kind of a big deal for you to, like, put, like, an oath like that in front of me. Do you have something to, like, seal the deal? Because, like, I mean, my word is my honor, but, like, we could make... If you're gonna really, you know...
Eliana slams her little, like, notebook down with 2 pens. Contract?
Contract. A blood oath.
Whoa, blood oath.
Unless you think
Alright.
that's too much for you.
No.
Otterheim's just in the back stroking his beard, smirking like,
Eliana's
hey.
next to him too because she's excited. She's never like, she does like this sort of stuff on the daily, right? Like in context, she's like, it's been so long, it feels like a normal thing now. Like, you know, she's like back to her normal schedules thing. So yeah, she's excited.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I trust you all more than this one. So I'm willing to make this oath.
I'm unfamiliar with your customs, so you tell me what needs to be done.
Well, I'm actually a breaker of those customs usually. But I'm an oath breaker paladin. But you know, you guys don't have to know that. Yeah. All right. If we want to do this whole blood oath thing, I just kind of like take my hand and oh god, this is I'm gonna cut it and seal it on the paper or what Eliana has presented.
Okay. Flenry will slice and place the mark over top of Sarah's mark. I assume that if they were both gashes, there's now some sort of nice looking bloody X on the page. Will this suffice?
Yeah. All right. So I swear fealty to you all. And if this one tries to get me to turn on you, I will not.
All right. And I swear that you now will be under this crew's protection in dangerous and perilous times from now until the end of this quest.
Awesome. Well, that seals that.
Okay, just one more thing, and Eliana will grab the book and go to Toddleheim. Can can you sign as the oh my god, witness?
Witness.
Did we just get blood married? Is that what she's
Binding contract.
I will go down with this ship, all right?
With blood, I assume. He just looks up at
Not as
Flannery.
important for you, but if you want.
I'll sign. Give me a pen. So I'll sign my name at the bottom.
And she'll snap it
Just-
close. All done.
Just chuckling as he gives it back.
All done.
Well, that was exciting. Great spectacle here. Well,
Yeah.
I can assume, as he looks around, now that I think about it, you all... I killed you. I know this place. We're in the sands of eternity. And he seems almost excited about that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
Excellent, excellent. Then this we can work with. And how did you come to be here, though? You do have
Our
a plan,
wits,
right?
Obviously.
We all should really appear to be really on top of this, that we know exactly what's going on and how we got here.
Well, it just feels like we're just giving him so much information because we
Yeah.
have to show him the orrery and
In the
how we
queen
combine it
and
with
the
the whole thing is like.
Well, we don't
I don't know.
have
I don't
to.
You don't have to
This
do
is-
anything.
Just know that I'm a traveler of these realms, and I helped get them here.
Yeah, it was all her.
We've been trying to find a way back.
Yeah.
To the living plane?
Yeah.
You-
Found him, or they found him, so they want to go back. All of us
Have
do.
you been anywhere else outside of this library?
No. I don't even know how long it's been. I've been stuck in some sort of illusion.
What exactly was the illusion?
Well, it wasn't much different than you're seeing before you. Except these damn books kept turning to sand as he pulls one, and this time it does not turn to sand. I'm something of a reader.
Yeah, so I've gathered that.
You should understand. You're a fellow scholar.
Indeed, not quite as obsessed with gaining power.
Power, knowledge, call it whatever you want. Is it any different?
Well, yes. One seeks to be knowledgeable, to know things, to understand things, the way the world works, the machinations of the universe even. And one just seeks to rule. There's a very big difference, scholar.
Perhaps the Shadow King's aim is to rule, but I have no aims to rule. Only simply to use my knowledge to better my own situation and those around me.
And that knowledge ended me up in this wonderful place.
Well, I do have a lot of knowledge. Just kind of smirks at you. Including some knowledge about the place we stand now.
So what is it that you know?
Well, I know the Sands of Eternity was once adjacent to the living plane. Simply another plane you could travel to. The door was regularly opened by those that lived here. People would come and go, and it was a nice bit of trade between the realms, but that all ended some 2,000 years ago, maybe? The doorways closed and the realm itself seemed to have vanished. Other than the connections through the mirrors, as you are acquainted with. No one really understood or knows how it happened, why it happened, what's the significance of it, but ever since then, the living have been unable to come here. Some people, even scholars like myself, theorize that it was destroyed in some sort of event. I always had hoped that, there was still a connection. And roll me an insight check, all of you. Well, not Saris, but the rest of you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
13.
14.
15.
With a 15, you get the idea in that statement that he wasn't 100% sure where you guys were going when he sent you through the mirror. That it was more of a
Like, good luck.
he thinks,
Yeah.
but he didn't know. So it was in some ways you get kind of the idea that you were maybe a little bit of an experiment there.
Yes, guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Rats. Test subjects. Test subjects.
Wow. I get it. Jesus Christ.
The good news is that these planes were once joined, and seeing it's not destroyed and it's still here, presumably there's a way to open the door. How long have you been here? Do you have any knowledge? Is there a way out?
Flannery's just gonna kind of, at the question of how long have you been here, just kind of quietly hang his head a little bit, because that's a painful thing to think about.
I can tell you I've been here longer than the rest of them. And as far as I know, there's no way out.
Surely there's someone here that knows. There's got to be scholars here. These books perhaps may contain the answer.
Well,
There's a place or a where the worlds touch, or maybe an item or something contained within these tomes. Have you looked? Have you read these books?
shall we get to reading? I don't think any of us really have had a chance to really look around this place too much yet, so it seems like there's a lot of things, knowledge, books. We could probably learn something. So I guess let's all take a hallway and start looking.
Okay. Yeah, roll me investigation checks. Anybody's gonna look for a book? Okay.
Big Toddy.
21 for
Hitting it.
Talheim. Sarah's with a 17. As you all look around at these books, you start pulling them off the shelf and thumbing through them. Some of them are very, very plain, mundane books that you would have found in the living world, even books about the history of places and people and science books and things like this. And some are even documents, legal documents, things like that. It seems to be a standard, a typical library. But as you start pulling books and more, you start coming across other books that are also foreign to you as well, detailing animals and planes and things that you maybe have not been to or unaccustomed with. You start seeing things that are outside of your general knowledge sphere. And Talheim, with the 21, you even start to find books about the Sands of Eternity itself. Here, it's not much of a secret in this place, so the books you're reading, you start to thumb through it, and it seems as though there are pictures and drawings of cities, Moratorios being one. As you thumb through, you can tell that that's not the only place here, though. There are other cities, there are other peoples, cultures. The book is still a little vague. But in terms of this place is bigger maybe than you imagined, or has more going on than you imagined, and starts to kind of click that, like Mortorios, maybe you just have to know how to navigate the sands. You have to learn those things. But you start to roll me another investigation check as you're thumbing through this book in particular.
No!
Aw.
7.
Hummer.
It does reference in some way that the sands used to be connected to other planes, but there's not a lot else to go on there. It kind of confirms what the Arbiter says about, maybe once being connected to the land of the living, but beyond that, there's not a ton. Let's see. Ooh, that's not good. Likewise, Vythor is searching through these books and finding really nothing of use in this place. There's general knowledge that he would already have known about the sands of eternity and things like that, and about various different things, but he's not finding what he's looking for, which is a way to open a doorway. So after some time, you all are searching through these books, finding some of this knowledge. The Arbiter makes his way around the corner. Doesn't seem to be much in the way of an answer here. Perhaps there's...
Anything.
Goes to Saris. You've been here a long time. Is there anything you can tell me? Is there anyone here, a mage, a scholar, some sort of learned individual that could point us in the right direction, perhaps? Someone who knows these sands, this place?
I look to Flinry.
He's gonna look back and just kind of. And then I think there's something that's like gonna be like a little bit of a moment of realization where it's like, the goal here is to get back. What happens to the people or places of things that live here is of no consequence to this.
True.
So I guess I'll give you a little nod.
There is. There is a king and queen of these lands. And they... Well, the queen at least. The king is affected by an ailment, but the queen at least can maybe help a little bit. She's the one that kind of sent us on our way to try to look here, but perhaps she might be of help.
I see. Well, perhaps then that's where we should go. We should... He's gonna keep looking around at the books as he's kind of thinking about this. He's just gonna look one more time to just not seeing anything that like sticks out as like aha moment for him. Still just not quite trusting that there's no information here, but well, perhaps we go then. If this queen or king can find us a way out or provide me with some knowledge or at least a heading. I don't want to undersell it, but we don't have a lot of time. If you knew the Shadow King like I know him, then you would know that the Grand Master is not safe, and neither is the Void.
All right. I guess we head back to the Queen then.
I will follow your lead then.
Royalty mentioned a device.
He turns his head very slowly. What sort of device?
A device capable of creating opportunities for transversal. You know of anything that would fit that description?
Not offhand, but well, maybe. Hold on 1 second. He's going to do another investigation check with this knowledge. He's gonna do it with advantage though. He has an idea of what he's looking for.
Oh.
25. With a 25, he disappears behind a bookshelf, and you just hear books being kind of like shuffled to the side and pages like flipping through. And he brings out a very large book, a very large tome. It's huge. I'm gonna like slam it down on a table. Well, there is this. I didn't quite make all of the sense to me at first. It mentions a few items, not all by name. It just mentions that there are in existence a number of items with special properties in this place. Maybe transversal could be one of them, as he starts flipping through the pages of here, and you start seeing, just they don't look like anything special, more kind of like these mundane scientific artifacts, or some of them look like statues, things like this. And he flips past a page, and as he flips past, if you're looking at the book, you would see the Orrery of Dreams. And he'll sorry, what?
I'll be like, wait, what is that? As he's skimming through and I see the Orrery of Dreams pop up, I kind of ask him to hold on that page.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look.
This page here?
Yes, this Orrery of Dreams.
Is that he's gonna flatten out the pages for you.
Look, it's true, we haven't been the most forthcoming with you, and we've been kind of laying it a little cryptic thus far.
Shocking.
But this
Okay, at least he expected it. Whatever.
we've been a little cryptic, and you know what? This item is what we're looking for.
This item here.
The Orrery of Dreams. And what does this say about it? And I begin to look at the page.
Yeah, you begin to read this page, and it tells you some of what you already know, that this is a very powerful item, crafted within the sands itself, here in the Sands of Eternity, that has, it doesn't go into detail about exactly what the properties are, but it does say that it has an immense power capable of shaping reality. Nothing specifically about necessarily opening doorways or anything like that, but it does have a obviously you have your own knowledge about what it's done and what you've been told about it. But here in this book specifically, it talks about an immense power. And is there something that I'm missing here as he flips through the pages? There seems to be a powerful item, but is there something you know that I don't?
I'm trying to remember exactly what we were told by the Queen about.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm
details
also.
of this.
Yeah.
I might
So
need to
the-
roll a little bit of a memory.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Less of me trying to stick it to the Arbiter a little bit more, Flannery being like, "What did she say back then?"
So the Queen told you that this was an artifact capable of opening a doorway between the planes.
Right.
You had asked her, she wanted to use it for the mages to be able to decipher how it worked and be able to open a portal, so that way she and hopefully everyone else could go as well. There was kind of in the air about, there was an unknown of how many people could go through this kind of door. If it would be one person, everybody, that was an unknown. But that they needed that item obviously to learn about it, because their knowledge of it was fractured in some ways. but they knew it could be used to, at least theoretically, open up a door between the planes. And then you obviously have seen some of its power as it, collided with your sword. It obviously transported you here to this place, conveniently to the Arbiter. So that's seems like a strange coincidence. I would say, if you were kind of thinking about it, like, but you would know all that stuff and kind of remember that as well.
Yes.
We're in possession of it, right?
You are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember who's holding it, but it's.
I think it's Eliana.
Somebody's got it.
I think it is.
Yeah.
She'll like move her bag to the back.
So, this item, we believe, could have the power to bring us back. We have it right now. It's what we use to get us here.
Well, I don't think we used it at all. I think it used us.
Yeah.
So you've had the
We
item.
were brought here.
It brought you here
Yeah.
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
No, to a library.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I gotta say, it's kind of interesting that the thing brought us to this library to meet this arbiter of yours. Maybe there's some sort of fate play here or something. Maybe we're supposed to. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to. We don't know much about this thing other than it can help us. Maybe it brought us here for a reason. Just saying.
I mean,
Well.
the book is here.
Yeah, but this book
Book is
doesn't really.
here.
Yes, the tome is incomplete on this subject as he looks at it, but well, now that I know you're in possession of the item, perhaps we could examine it.
Yeah, well, we're out of options at this point, so sure. If everybody's okay with it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just chuckling to myself at this point. I'm just like, just go ahead. Just do it.
We're fucked.
This is where we die.
I was-
Again.
I was gonna
God.
be like, we should go back to the Queen and then show her that we have it. At
I
least in that
know.
situation, there are people around us that can maybe step in if he decides to betray us. But in this situation now, we've just brought him the orrery. We know he's got ridiculous levels of power. There's no reason that you won't just dead us all off now. Just take the orrery.
Well, you
Like,
can
why wouldn't you?
you can
So,
you can
I
certainly
guess
make
we'll
the
see how
case
that
to him
goes.
if you want. If you want to try to persuade him to go with you to the Queen instead, like, feel free. Try what you want to try.
We also think the Queen is kind of shady.
Yeah, you know.
We do. We do.
I'm about ready for the Arbiter and this Queen to like form a secret handshake as soon as they meet. And then, like,
Oh
we're
my
just
god,
gonna be
I know.
out, you know? Like,
okay,
yeah.
we're not giving him the chance to make any allies. You know what? Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Eliana will like shuffle around and like. Is there like a table? I guess I'll put it down on the
Yeah,
table. Yeah. All the while shooting daggers at the Arbiter.
He'll knowing that you all are apprehensive and he's not really looking to make waves at this moment. He won't touch it.
Right,
He'll-
because I'm ready to tackle again.
He will kneel down next to it though and examine. Start staring at the rings and the different
Kneeling at
pieces.
the table. Look at he's so tall.
He is kneeling way down. He's like on a knee.
I can't believe you let me tackle him. I'm fucking like,
That's
goddamn,
pretty good.
alright.
He's also not as strong here as he used to be.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Have you all been able to read this?
We didn't really have time. It kind of just threw us here.
Yeah, read what?
Well, there's some mumbo jumbo about the truth and some cryptic, flowery words, but written here on the inside ring. I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it as he kind of stares at Eliana and then over at Talheim. And
We literally just got here and had to deal with you. What do you mean?
Well, in any case, it's I'm not going to say it's instruction manual, but it does speak of that this is some sort of key. It's a piece of a larger machine, perhaps using the word machine loosely. I don't know what the intentions are, but it's a part of a whole. Whatever power this unlocks, I don't believe it will be at its full potential until we bring it to the right place or find the right mechanism that unlocks it.
Right. So where is this bigger object is the question, whatever this thing is a key for.
Flurry will examine the pages before and after the orrery in the book.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Maybe this book has more info.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. 25.
Okay. Yeah, you're reading through this book, and again, there's nothing here that specifically is like, you use this to open a door, but it starts to talk about, as you kind of putting these things together and listening, that the items in this book, some of them were created together and can be used in conjunction with each other for different purposes. Doesn't talk about how to do that necessarily, but it starts talking about the fact that they can interact with each other. And sometimes,
what are the two objects on the 4-page and the aft page?
Sure. The page before is a small statue, like a figurine. Looks like it could be cast of like bronze or something. Doesn't look to be intricate necessarily in terms of like moving pieces, but it's some sort of statue. And on the page afterwards is a like an amulet containing a gem that looks it's not a fully colored book necessarily, but it looks kind of has a red hue to it potentially. So it looks very ornate.
Does the design of the amulet share any aesthetic similarities to the orrery design?
They do, actually. All of these objects share similar looking language written on them. In the book, you can't quite decipher it because it's it's hand drawn and it's not necessarily it's more of an artistic representation. But it does seem like they all contain like script words, language on them. That potentially if you had the item you could read, kind of like you've seen on the orrery now that it's got the script around it that has indicated to you a few different things here.
Could I investigate the book and look for Flinry's sword?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Smart.
With an 8, there is a sword in this book. It looks pretty similar, but most swords do.
Yeah, okay.
You could take the leap, I think, even with an 8, that this is most likely Flinry's sword in this book. That it is somehow one of these objects created of the sand that hold potential energy and power, and maybe potentially together interact in different ways and have different modifications that can happen depending on what objects you've got. So it's in there though, and it talks about this sword.
What does it say the sword's called?
It just says the Sword of Truth, which you aptly named it, but it has a small section here about the sword that it has the potential to show race cars.
Has the ability to take a race car.
It transforms into a truck.
Was so violent. Just
No, it has the ability. It has the ability to look beyond the physical, Doesn't quite say what that means or how it works, just that it has the ability to gaze beyond what is apparent or what can be seen with the naked eye. Which is, what you've gathered through trial and error. But yeah, it's in there.
Nice.
I think we need to take this book with us, friends.
I think that would be a very good idea.
Given its heft and size, however.
I was gonna say it's a pretty big book.
What was it? Viking, Thornbush. I'm sorry, it's not important. You're big enough to carry this book. Here.
Me?
No. I'm.
He's talking to me.
Oh. Yeah, he can carry it.
Don't worry, it's Vythorn, but
Right.
it's a large name for a small brain. As he takes the book and he actually closes it with one hand and it just it disappears. I'll keep on to it. Everyone roll me a perception check. Anybody above a like a 14 here? Would,
that's a nat 20.
Let's go!
Eliana, you begin to feel the ground beneath your feet shake and rumble. Just like a slowly, not like a violent shaking, but like a vibration of the floor here. And as you do, you also begin to hear shouting coming from outside of this building.